Welcome to Politics News Wolf US channel. Ukraine war that has been going on for more than a year. The Ukrainian army continues to destroy Russian rocket launchers, howitzers, tanks and dramatic video footage of the events recently shared by the Ukrainian military and reposted on its social media accounts shows how high-precision strikes can virtually eliminate all of Russia's most important military vehicles, howitzers. And more quickly and effortlessly, the attacks occurred in the Donetsk oblasts, where Russian forces are still trying to achieve their goal of liberating the entire. Video footage shows a Russian BM-21 GRA multiple rocket launcher, a self-propelled howitzer, at these two T-72B tanks and a BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicle being taken out by Ukrainian archery fire. The videos also appear to have been recorded by rotating blade drones and show every military vehicle that was left completely neglected in the immediate aftermath of the. The clips were posted from the social media account by the popular War Watch account. BM-21 Grad 122mm multiple rocket launcher, a 2S3 152mm, self-propelled Howitzer 2 T-72B tanks, and a BMP-2 IF-5 were destroyed by the high-precision strikes of the 59th Motorized Brigade near the city of Tourists, said the Ukrainian arms. The dramatic video footage comes as Ukrainian forces continue to hold defensive positions on the Esk front, and Russian forces ramp up their aggression in hopes of reaching at least one of the invasion's initial targets. The commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, after meeting with U.S. General Mark Milley, revealed that Russia is carrying out up to 50 attacks a day in Donetsk, in hopes of seizing control of the entire solution. Said fierce fighting continues in the W letter and Marine area. We are holding the defense reliably in some parts of front. We were able to regain positions that we had lost before and gained a foothold. The Ukrainian commander-in-chief did not provide details on where the Ukrainian army was regaining ground, but confirmed that his troops continued to hold the city of Batu and south to stabilize the front line surrounding the city. This follows sweep of Russian aggression intensifying in satellite towns around the city of Pout, and the Russians hope to take full control of the city. British intelligence suggested that Russian forces had gained ground in the north of the city, but were fighting in Wlar in the south. Clashes in the Esk Oblast are expected to continue for the foreseeable future, with Russian forces focusing on both Donetsk and Luhansk in renamed offensive. According to the data shared by the UK-based research organisation, IISS, about the Russian army, it was claimed that Russia lost half of its important tanks. The UK-based think tank, International Institute for Strategic Studies, claimed that Russia lost almost half of its important tanks in the war. According to the data compiled by the organization based on drone and satellite images, the number of tanks in the hands of the Kremlin army decreased from 2,927 to 1,800 in the period from February 24, when the war began, to the end of November. This equates to a loss of about 36%. It has also been suggested that Russian troops lost almost half of its imported tank models they had before the war, such as the T-72, B-3, T-72B, 3M, and T-80. The head of IISS, John Chipman, argued that Russia had displayed a military and political failure in the war, and that due to the losses in question and slowing industrial production, the Kremlin had to use outdated weapons and equipment to fill this gap. However, it was pointed out that despite the serious losses, the Russian army had 5,000 Soviet I-tank models, and this could enable the Kremlin to continue his strategy of attrition against Ukraine in the long. In a study, it was pointed out that the Ukrainian troops neutralized the Russian tanks with the help of drones. While it was argued that the Kremlin could not provide a superiority, in addition, it was claimed that Russia lost 6 to 8% of its tactical fighter jet reserve last year. On the other end, it was pointed out that Ukraine had a far fewer aircraft during Russia before the war. While it was argued that Kiev lost almost half of its air units, it was claimed that Ukraine's tank reserves increased from 858 to 953. Analyst Turning Board of IIS suggested that Kiev troops compensated for their own losses by capturing about 500 Russian tanks and using a significant part of them in It was also stated that although countries such as Poland and Czech Republic sent Soviet Arya tanks to Ukraine, Kiev's current tank capacity is half that of Russia. Last month, after a controversial process, Germany, the USA, and the UK decided to send tanks to Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky also asked Western countries to send fighter jets after the tank shipments were. Kiev has not yet received a positive response to this request. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that the countries that decided to send tanks will now be directly involved in the war. The report titled 2023 Arms Balance published by the International Institute for Strategic Studies revealed that Russia suffered a significant loss of military power, including most of its modern equipment due to the Ukraine war. It was reported that Ukraine completely modernized its army with military aid from abroad. While China saw an unprecedented increase in military spending in the report, which gave an important place to the war in Ukraine, it was stated that Russia covered its military losses with the declared mobilization, but underlined that the nearly arrived soldiers were inexperienced. According to IISS, Russia loses 6 to 8% of tactical warplanes while losses range from 10 to 15% for some aircraft types. Pointing out that Ukraine has fewer warplanes and has suffered proportionally more losses. IISS estimated that Kiev lost about half of its tactical warplane inventory. In the report, which noted that Ukraine, which benefit greatly from Soviet-era weapons, stocks, increased its combat capabilities by initiating a transformation in its army with the supply of Grant weapons from Western countries. It was emphasized that Soviet-era tanks supplied by Eastern Europe, which competed for more modern equipments, were also shipped to. French President Emmanuel Macron said in a statement to the French press that he wanted Russia to be defeated in his wary Ukraine, but not to be crushed, making a statement to various press organizations. After returning from the mini-security conference, Macron called on the Allies to increase their support for Ukraine and stated that France was prepared for the possibility of a prolonged. In a statement to the newspaper, Macron reiterated his opposition to taking war Russian soil. "I don't think we shall aim to completely defeat Russia by attacking Russia on his own soil as some have done. These observers want about all to crush Russia. This has never been the position of France and will never be our position." Thank you for watching the video. If you find it useful, please comment and share the video for us. It will make our channel more known. See you in the following videos. Thank you very much.